The Other Side of the Story by Marian Keyes. Read by Niamh Daly. Gemma. When I heard her choke, "He's gone," who could blame me for thinking Dad had kicked the bucket? "He just packed a bag and left." Then I realised Dad mightn't actually be dead. "Come home." But I was in a hotel ballroom overseeing a medical conference, an enormous deal which had taken weeks to pull together, and in less than an hour 200 chiropractors would be flooding in. I can't leave here. "Hurry! I'm in an awful state. God only knows what I'll do." That did it. I snapped my phone closed and looked at Andrea. "It's my dad." "Oh my God, is he—" "Oh no," I corrected. "He's still alive." "Go! Go!" She pushed me towards the exit, clearly visualising a deathbed farewell. "I can't. What about all this?" "Me and Moses'll do it, and I'll call the office and get Ruth over to help. Go!" And in a surge of panic, I was outside in the cold January fog. The road to my parents' house was almost car-free, all the heavy traffic going in the opposite direction, into the centre of Dublin. I parked, very badly, and Mam had opened the front door before I was even out of the car. She was in a peach candlewick dressing gown, an orange curler in her fringe. "He's gone." I hurried in. "Did something happen? Did you have a fight?" "No, nothing. He ate his breakfast as normal, porridge, see." She pointed to a bowl on the kitchen table. "Then he said he wasn't happy, things weren't working out and he was leaving." "But you've been married 35 years. Maybe he's having a midlife crisis." "The man is nearly 60. He's too old for a midlife crisis." She was right. Dad had had his chance for a midlife crisis a good 15 years ago. We'd been quite looking forward to it, actually. But instead he just carried on losing his hair and being vague and kindly. "I thought he'd been a bit distracted for the last while," Mam said. "I said it to you." And between us we wondered if maybe he had the beginnings of Alzheimer's. All at once, I understood. He did have Alzheimer's. He wasn't in his right mind. He was driving around somewhere, stone mad. We had to alert the police. "What's his car reg?" Mam looked surprised. "I don't know. Why do we need it?" "We can't just tell the peelers to look for a blue Nissan Sunny bearing a 59-year-old man convinced he's Princess Anastasia of Russia. It's a company car, isn't it?" I think so." "I'll ring his work." Even as I rang Dad's direct line, I knew he wouldn't answer. Then he answered. "Dad?" "Gemma," he said warily. This in itself was nothing unusual. He always answered the phone to me warily, because I only ever rang him A, to say my telly was broken and would he come with his toolbox, B, to say my grass needed cutting and would he come with his lawnmower, C, to say my front room needed painting and would he come with his dust sheets, rollers, masking tape and a large bag of assorted chocolate. "Dad, what's going on?" "Look, I was going to ring you later, but things went a bit mad here." He was breathing hard. "The prototype plans must have been leaked. The Oppo are going to issue a press release. New product, nearly identical, industrial espionage—" "Dad!" Before we go any further, I have to tell you that my father works for a big confectionery company. I'm not going to say their name because under the circumstances I don't want to give them any free publicity. One of the perks was as much of the produce as he wanted, free. Of course, Mam and I were strictly forbidden from buying anything from the rival companies. And although it's ridiculous, the first time I ate a Ferrero Rocher, I actually felt guilty. I know they're a joke, all that "Ambassador, you're spoiling us" stuff, but I was impressed, especially by their roundiness. But when I casually put it to Dad that his crowd should start playing around with circular chocolates, he'd gazed at me sadly and said, "Is there something you'd like to tell me?" "Dad, Mam's very upset. What's going on, please?" "I was going to talk to you later." "Well, you're talking to me now." "Now doesn't suit me." Alarm was building in me. He wasn't crumbling as I'd expected he would the moment I spoke sternly. "Dad, me and Mam were worried about you. We think you might be a little
Sample complete. Ready to continue?